Hi students, I'm Dr. Bhavana. In this lecture we are going to deal about the sensory system, the receptors and its processing. So in the last lecture we already have discussed about what are all the sensory receptors that are associated with the human body. Mainly they are eyes, ears, nose as well as tongue. These four are the sensory receptors that are associated with it. But initially when we start, we already have completed about what are the receptors that are associated with the nose. So mainly the receptors associated with the nose are nothing but olfactory receptors. And those receptors which are associated with the tongue, they are called as gustatory receptors. As well as numerous receptors are associated with the eye also. And we have discussed what about the parts of an eye, what is retina and what is, if you all have missed the last class, see the sensory receptors and processing part 2. So in that we have discussed what is the mechanism of vision, how light enters from initially from the organ of this one to the inner retina, how it enters and all. I have discussed how the light transfers from the cornea, then into the retina, then photoreceptor cells, then bipolar cells, ganglion cells, numerous cells are associated with it. So we have discussed about the eye. Next, the important receptors that are associated are with the ears mainly. What are the receptors that are associated with the ears? So ears, auditory receptors are associated. So today we are going to deal about the topic called as ear. So mainly auditory receptors. Auditory receptors. What are the receptors that are associated with the ear? Important neat question. Auditory receptors. Olfactory receptors means you should get into mind it is nose. If it is tongue means you should get gustatory receptors that are associated with it. So like that for auditory receptors means it is ear mainly. So auditory receptors are associated. What are the main two functions of the ear? So in the main two functions of the ear, mainly it plays an important role in hearing process, hearing, as well as it plays an important role in balance of our body. Means balance of the posture as well as our balance. Everything it is associated with the ear only. Maintenance of balance. Body posture also. Body posture as well as balance as well as equilibrium. Everything is associated with the ear itself. Mainly hearing, first process. Second process is maintenance of balance of the body. Maintenance of balance. So in the maintenance of balance means exactly what? Body posture. Body posture it is associated. So the ear, what are the two functions of the ear? It plays an important role in hearing as well as maintenance of body posture. So numerous neat questions are asked based on this ear. What are the parts of an ear? Important neat question. What are the parts of an ear? So ear mainly has three parts, ears. So they have outer ear, middle ear, inner ear. Whatever which is visible to you, everything comes under outer ear. That is the elastic part that is visible, the cartilaginous part that is visible is nothing but pinna. It is called as pinna as well as external auditory meatus. This is visible. But inside that also there is outer ear, middle ear as well as inner ear that is associated. So mainly three types. Outer, middle as well as inner ear. Mainly when it comes to outer ear, outer, it has two parts. Here parts of the ear are also important because numerous neat questions are asked based on this. So in the parts of an ear, outer ear, mainly it is associated with pinna as well as external auditory meatus. External auditory meatus. Two parts, pinna as well as external auditory meatus. Next, when it comes to middle ear, middle ear is mainly associated with three bones. Mainly these are three ear ossicles also we see. These three ear ossicles are nothing but malleus, incus as well as stapes. Malleus, incus as well as stapes. These are the three smallest bones that are associated in the middle ear. What are the three small bones that are associated with the ear? So it is called as malleus, incus, stapes. These are the three ear ossicles that are associated with the middle ear. Next, when it comes to the inner ear, innermost part, it is associated with the cochlea. We say it as cochlea. So outer is pinna as well as external auditory meatus. Middle ear, it is associated with malleus, incus, stapes. Next, when it comes to inner ear, it is nothing but cochlea. This cochlea, it has numerous semicircular canals that is associated with it. Semicircular canals means it will be like this, very rounded. You see, it will be like one cochlea type. All numerous semicircular canals will be associated. It is a round tube-like structure that is associated. This is the most innermost part of the ear. So what we have learned till now? First, mainly the sensory receptor that is associated for our eyes, ear, tongue as well as nose. We already have dealt about all the last three in the last class. So now we have started about ear. First, mainly functions of the ear we should deal. So in the mainly functions of the ear, it plays an important role in hearing our hearing process, as well as it helps in maintenance of balance of our body posture and all, as well as it helps in maintaining the equilibrium. So this is about the two functions of the ear. Next, what are the parts of an ear that are associated? So in the parts of the ear, it is outer ear, middle ear as well as inner. Outer, pinna as well as external auditory meatus. Here parts of the ear are very important for you in NEET point of view. What are associated with the inner ear? Then you should answer. They'll give you external auditory meatus, they'll give you malleus, incus, stapes as well as they'll give you cochlea. Then the answer is what? It is cochlea. So the cochlea, middle is malleus, incus, stapes, outermost is pinna as well as external auditory meatus that is associated with it. So these are the parts of the ear. Now we will deal in detail about the parts of the ear. What are the parts that are exactly associated with it? So in the mainly in the parts of the ear, we have started with outer one. Outer, I told you, pinna as well as external auditory meatus. This is pinna that is visible to you. The elastic cartilaginous part that is associated with the ear is the outer ear. That is pinna, which is visible to you. From there, numerous vibrations of the air. Numerous vibrations are are produced in the air. These all are grasped by this pinna only. Numerous vibrations. Like that only first outer ear grasp the vibrations in the air. Then only it will get transferred into the inner ear. Like that only numerous vibrations are transferred from the air into the pinna first initially. From the pinna, it is transferred into one long canal that is called as external auditory canal or external auditory meatus. You say it as external auditory canal. Here diagram also plays a very important role, because by the diagram only you can easily remember like how the waves or else how the vibrations are transferred from the outermost air like to the innermost part. How they are transferred, everything will come like this one. So mainly from the pinna through the external auditory canal, numerous vibrations are transferred deep. Then here there is one membrane that is called as tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane. What is the use of this tympanic membrane? It helps in transmission of sound waves into the middle ear, which plays an important role in transmission of sound waves into the middle ear. Then it is nothing but tympanic membrane that is associated with it. So first is pinna, external auditory canal, as well as tympanic membrane. These three parts are associated with the mainly the outer ear. Pinna, external auditory meatus, as well as tympanic membrane. So numerous waves are transferred. Next, numerous hair as well as wax secreting glands. Numerous hair cells as well as wax secreting glands are present in this pinna as well as external auditory meatus. Where are wax secreting glands present? So they are mainly present in the pinna as well as hair cells as well as wax secreting glands. These both are present in pinna as well as external auditory meatus. Then in the tympanic membrane, what is present? To the outside, skin is a connective tissue actually. This tympanic membrane is connective tissue. Means it connects the outer ear to the middle ear. Which part connects the outer ear to the middle ear? It is tympanic membrane that connects the outer ear to the middle ear. So in this tympanic membrane mainly to the outside it is associated with the skin. Means outside layer it is covered with skin. Inside layer mucous membrane is associated. Outside it is associated with skin, as well as inside it is associated with mucous membrane. Mucous membrane. So hair as well as wax secreting glands are present in the pinna as well as external auditory meatus. Whereas outside it is a connective tissue with tympanic membrane is a connective tissue which connects the outer ear to the middle ear. So outside it is covered with skin, inside it is mucous membrane. So it is the tympanic membrane that is associated with it. So this is about the outer ear. Next, outside is skin, inside is mucous membrane. That is the important point you should remember about the tympanic membrane mainly. So next, there are three bones that are associated. That is three ear ossicles that are associated. The three ear ossicles that are associated with the middle ear are nothing but malleus, incus, stapes. Malleus, incus, as well as stapes. These are the three ear ossicles, middle ear ossicles, which are associated. So these first one is malleus. You should remember it in an order. Malleus, incus, stapes. Because malleus only connects with this tympanic membrane initially. Whereas the third bone, the third ear ossicle which is associated, it connects with the innermost ear, that is nothing but cochlea. So you should remember in an order, because if you write first stapes as well as last you write malleus, it is wrong thing. First you should go in an order, like malleus, incus, stapes. You should go in an order. Malleus means it is associated with the tympanic membrane, whereas the stapes it is associated with innermost ear. So malleus, incus, stapes. This will follow an order. So in this malleus, incus, stapes, what is the use of this malleus, incus, stapes? This helps in transmission of sound waves. It helps in transmission of sound waves to the innermost ear. Tympanic membrane, it helps in transmission of sound waves to the middle ear. Whereas malleus, incus, stapes, these help in transmission of sound waves to the inner ear, innermost ear. I told you it is cochlea that is associated with it. So it helps in transfer deep into the inner ear, malleus incus stapes. So this is about the malleus incus stapes, that is middle ear. Next, when we go into the innermost ear, this is very complicated thing that you should understand, because in the inner ear, first it is associated with the cochlea. It is associated with cochlea. Cochlea, innermost ear. So in this cochlea, mainly in the cochlea, there is bony labyrinth as well as membranous labyrinth. First, when we say it is inner ear, we will get into mind about cochlea. But first, when we go into the inner ear, we should say about labyrinth. Labyrinth. So in this labyrinth, there are two types again, that is bony labyrinth as well as membranous labyrinth. Bony as well as membranous labyrinth. So in this bony labyrinth, suppose imagine this is a bony labyrinth that is associated. It is filled with a fluid, it is covered with a fluid. What is that fluid called? That is called as perilymph. Perilymph. Perilymph means nothing but outermost. Periphery. You say periphery. Then it is nothing but outermost. Full it is covered with a fluid. When this is called as bony labyrinth. Again, this bony labyrinth is divided into numerous parts. That is nothing by membranous labyrinth. These small parts are called as membranous labyrinth. Now this membranous labyrinth is covered with a fluid that is called as endolymph. Endolymph. Mainly you should recognize 3 points here basically. First point is basically what is membranous labyrinth as well as bony labyrinth. In the membranous labyrinth, it is covered with endolymph. First is bony labyrinth that is associated. In the bony labyrinth, it is perilymph that is associated. Periphery. Full it is fluid filled cavity that is associated. So that is called as bony labyrinth. Again, this bony labyrinth is divided into numerous parts. That is called as membranous labyrinth. Why it is divided into numerous parts? Because of the cochlea that is associated with it. So it is divided into numerous parts, and this is filled with a fluid that is called as endolymph. Here, main important neat question that you should concentrate is bony labyrinth as well as membranous labyrinth. Mainly, what is the fluid that is associated? That is very important, basically. So, endolymph as well as perilymph. And in the cochlea mainly, now we will draw the structure of the cochlea, because the cochlea, it is only semicircular and it is divided, and it is the most part of the inner ear. So mainly this cochlea, we will deal it in a diagrammatic depiction. So in this diagram, so mainly in this diagram of cochlea, imagine this is cochlea. So it is divided into 3 parts. One is scala vestibuli. Scala vestibuli. This is scala tympani. Scala media. The third one is scala tympani. No need to get so much confused regarding this. Just you imagine the diagram of the innermost one, that is cochlea. So in this cochlea only is very important in neat point of view. So scala vestibuli, media and tympani. Scala vestibuli, remember again it in an order. Outermost layer, uppermost layer, this is called as oval window. Numerous in small like primary education, you all have learnt about oval window as well as round window. This is oval window because this is oval in shape. So this is called as oval window. Scala vestibuli, another name of scala vestibuli means it is called as oval window. Whereas scala tympani, it is called as, because here it is round, it is called as round window. Mainly I told you first that malleus incus stapes, the three parts of the middle ear, the malleus is associated with the outer ear by tympanic membrane. Whereas stapes, the third part of the ear ossicle, that is associated with the scala vestibuli, not tympani. Important neat question. It is associated with this scala vestibuli, not with the oval window, that is not with the round window, that is scala tympani. It is associated only with scala vestibuli. So now these three parts of the cochlea are again divided into basically membranes. That is how these are three divided into three parts. There should be membranes which divide them. These membranes are nothing but, here scientific names are important in NEET point of view. So that is called as Reissner's membrane. Reissner's membrane, which divides the scala vestibuli as well as media. When it comes to scala media as well as tympani, which divide, that is called as basilar membrane. Basilar membrane that is associated. So Reissner's membrane as well as basilar membrane, two membranes are associated with it. Reissner's membrane is nothing but which covers the, which divides the scala vestibuli as well as media, whereas this scala media as well as scala tympani, these both are divided by basilar membrane that is associated. So scala vestibuli, media, tympani, what are the membranes which divide them? They are nothing but Reissner's membrane as well as basilar membrane that is associated with it. And we say scala vestibuli as oval window. When it comes to scala tympani, it is nothing but round window that is associated. So next term, in this process, mainly the Reissner's membrane is plain structure, means there is no separate, simply numerous cells are present. Whereas when it comes to basilar membrane, there is a separate structure that is associated with it. The separate structure that is associated with it is called as, important NEET question, organ of Corti. This is called as organ of Corti. This organ of Corti contain numerous hair cells that are associated with it. Here numerous hair cells are present. Organ of Corti. What is the basic thing that is associated with the organ of Corti? Means nothing but hair cells are associated, means numerous hair cells are present on that basilar membrane, as well as above this there is one plain structure that is associated. A elastic membrane is associated above this. This membrane is nothing but called as tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane. So when the numerous like vibrations from the outer ear, when they are transferred to the middle ear and from the middle ear into the inner ear, that is nothing but cochlea, what will happen? These hair cells that are present, they get attached, that is they press against this tectorial membrane, and from there numerous through the auditory nerve that is associated, they are transferred deep into the auditory cortex of the brain mainly. Means the brain should receive the signals, right? How the brain will receive the signals? When the signals are transferred through the auditory nerve only, brain will receive the signals. From there only impulses are generated and you can hear the numerous sounds which are produced in the environment. There should be some connection between the ear as well as the brain. In the brain also mainly there is auditory cortex that is associated with the brain. So there only numerous vibrations as well as whatever the impulses are transferred and you can hear properly. How this all will happen? Because of these hair cells are pressed against the tectorial membrane that is associated with it. So these are the three parts that are associated with the ricina's membrane as well as basilar membrane that is associated with it. So these are the three types that are associated. In the ear, this is the innermost part of the ear mainly. Again there is another apparatus also that is associated with it. Into the innermost ear and then into the brain, that all is a big mechanism that is associated with it. So we will deal about that in the next class. But mainly for now you remember what are the NEET questions that are based on this topic is, first they will ask you about the parts of the ear. First is pinna, outer ear, middle ear, inner ear. Outer ear it is associated with pinna as well as external auditory meatus. External auditory meatus is a long canal. It helps in transmission of sound waves from the pinna, that is cartilaginous part, into the middle ear through tympanic membrane. So this tympanic membrane also helps in transmission of sound waves. And in the malosynthesis tapes that is associated with it, in the malosynthesis tapes there are three ear ossicles that are associated with it. So in these three ear ossicles, mainly malus, it will connect it to the outer ear. In incus, middle bone, stapes to the inner ear it will connect. So these are the three bones. Everything in whatever order I say, you should remember in that order only. So malus, incus, stapes. Next, tympanic membrane I told you, it helps in transmission of numerous sound waves or impulses to the middle ear. Here functions are also important basically. Next we have done about the inner ear. In the inner ear there is nothing much to remember. Only inner ear means first you should get remembered about labyrinth. So there are two types of labyrinth, that is bony labyrinth as well as membranous labyrinth. So in the bony labyrinth that is associated, it consists of perilymph, fluid filled cavity called as perilymph. So here another one is endolymph that is associated, that is in the membranous labyrinth. By this cochlea that is associated, this is divided into three parts. Now the diagrammatic representation of the cochlea comes. So in the diagrammatic representation of the cochlea mainly, it is divided into three parts. That is scala, vestibuli, media, tympani. Scala is the word which you should remember that is associated with the inner ear. Vestibuli, media, tympani. Three parts. Numerous NEET questions based on eye as well as ear. Every alternative year they are asking related to this only. So vestibuli, media and then tympani. Vestibuli also called as oval window. Important NEET question. Scala vestibuli is also called as oval window. Scala tympani is called as round window. Which divides it into three parts is nothing but ricina's membrane that is associated. Divides it, contain normal cells that are associated. So no need to get so much confusion. The second one that is associated with is basilar membrane. So in this basilar membrane only, numerous hair cells are present. See, these hair cells are associated with the main structure that is called as organ of Corti. So this organ of Corti only, This one only is the main auditory receptors that will sense the numerous impulses that are transmitted by the air into the brain. This will only sense. So these are called as auditory receptors. What are the auditory receptors that are associated with the ear? Means organ of Corti. Next, another membrane is present above the organ of Corti, that is called as tectorial membrane. This is a small, simple, elastic membrane that is associated with it. So this tectorial membrane, all these hair cells will press against the tectorial membrane. Then only numerous impulses are transmitted. Next, in the next class we will deal about what is the another important part of the inner ear is there, about that, as well as what is the mechanism of transmission of sound waves into the brain. We will deal it in the next class. Okay.